Hello everyone and welcome to another Digimon Ghost Game video. In this video I'm going to be going over my quick thoughts about the latest episode of Digimon Ghost Game, which is episode 4, The Doll's Manor. If you want to hear obviously my bigger thoughts and my more long-winded thoughts, we will be recording the podcast in just a little bit and that'll be coming out tomorrow night. So if this is the future, it'll already be out, but if not, check our release schedule on the website for sort of an idea of when to expect that to be dropping for the public. It'll be out as soon as we record it on Patreon, but for the public release it'll be like 24 hours from now. But in any case, so this episode is a Halloween episode because the air date is also October 31st, 2021. So it came out on Halloween, so it's a Halloween episode, and the monster of the week is Pumpkinmon, who in this episode we discover to be lonely and wants everyone to have the same face as him and to be friends with everyone. So he's kidnapping people, putting pumpkins on their head, and then carving his face on them because he thinks this is the way to make friends. And this is kind of in the same way that in episode 2 we had Mummymon thinking that he could revive people and restore people by killing them and making them these little mummified corpses, which is not how you heal people at all. So in this episode, again, like episode 2, we also have Hiro explaining the error of the Digimon's ways by saying that this isn't how you make friends, and he explains that pumpkins are merely decorations for Halloween, and they don't mean anything else than that, but you also can't force a friendship. We also get Angoramon acting as sort of like the Digimon analyzer, like we have Tentomon being in other seasons, or Koshiro, and we get our first Digimon Analyzer screen, and that's for Pumpkinmon, so that's pretty cool that we get to see this season's version of the Analyzer, giving us a stat screen about the Digimon. In general, this episode almost felt a little bit too scary. It felt a little bit more than I honestly expected from this. I mean, so far Ghost Game in its 4 episodes now has felt scarier than the other seasons, but this episode definitely took that level of spooky, that spooky, creepy atmosphere, and turned it up like way past 11. Like other episodes have been kind of creepy, like, oh look, it's a creepy little scribble and now the arms are disappearing or whatever, but this one seemed even scarier, probably because Pumpkinmon was wielding a knife and stabbing people in the face with it. So in some way, it's just as scary as the other episodes, but somehow it just felt spookier than the other episodes. It felt more intense almost. So I kind of like that, but I felt like it definitely was scarier than the other episodes, even though it was really just in its essence, it was the same thing as what we've seen in the previous episodes. I'm also kind of surprised that this episode wasn't an Angoramon evolution episode. I felt like this would be a good time because Hiro was acting as a decoy and was being kidnapped, and I thought that Angoramon would evolve because we just met Angoramon, we just met Ruri becoming a chosen child, so I felt like this would have been a good evolution episode, but we end up getting Gammamon evolving to Battle Gammamon, but in general it doesn't turn out to be much of a fight. We just need Battle Gammamon to kind of slow Pumpkinmon down in the same way that we had Battle Gammamon do the same thing to Mummymon in episode 2. It wasn't really a fight, it was more like slap this Digimon out of its like hysteria and explain words to them rather than a full-blown fight like we had in episode 1 and in episode 3 with Clockmon and Dracomon. No, Darkmon, not I always get Dracomon and Darkmon confused, but anyway, so it's not really a full-blown fight, it's more of a slap them out of their silliness and then explain to them why killing people kills people, that sort of thing. But anyway, so it's also good to see that we have Hiro being this like level-headed, helpful friend. He's helping Ruri set up these decorations, and Ruri even points out what a helpful person he is, which is really nice. And we also get Angoramon, who is the brains of the group apparently, explaining a little bit how the Digimon and Digital World came to be with their origins. And it seems like it's a computer virus that kind of went a little bit weird and sentient. So that'll be pretty cool to learn more about. We also learned that Hero can touch a button on his Digivice to either, one, make the Digimon not visible to other people, like unmaterialize it, and Rui teaches him this. And he also, by fiddling around, realizes that if you press a certain button, you can kind of send yourself and the rest of the cast to this, like, the Digicourts area in Young Hunters, which is kind of like a place that's in between the digital world and the human world. We had this in Appmon, we had it in Young Hunters, and then we sort of had the network in Digimon Adventure Colon. So in the later seasons of Digimon, this has been sort of like a place that they can go that they can have all the collateral damage that they like, because it doesn't actually affect the human world, but it's also not quite the digital world. It's like a place in between the two. So it was nice to see that mechanic come back, because it does explain away a lot of collateral damage, which is other than just like, oh yeah, that building smashed in, but don't worry, it'll be fixed next episode. Like, it's a nice way of explaining away all of that damage. But in any case, I really liked this episode. I felt like it's probably stronger than any of the other episodes we had so far, but it is also feeling like it's starting to pick up. We've got another character there, and next episode looks like it's going to be Kiyoshiro and Jellymon's introduction episode, so that's exciting because I'm looking forward to meeting them. But in general, this episode was really good, and I know I say this every week, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how this will go, how the rest of the series will go. I don't know how many episodes that we have, but I hope that it's a good amount. I hope that it's not too little, but not too much, because I'm looking forward to watching more of this show. But in any case, thanks for watching this episode, and let me know in the comments what you thought about episode 4 of Ghost Game, and if you have any predictions to have for episode 5 or anything else in the show, and hopefully I'll see y'all in the podcast recording comments section, whatever they're called. But anyway, definitely leave a comment on this video, and if the podcast is out already, give that a listen, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!